This is Michael Jackson.
Wait, why does she look not like her here? What did you put a fucking mod in this?
Nope.
Kind regards, masses. It's me, Highbike, and I am back with some more Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom. That's right, we're back with even more Hakuoki tonight. The first pre-stream song was Reactive Factory, Work It Out from Siva Gunner's King for Another Day. Yes, obviously Siva Gunner. A rip, but not quite. So, again, it was from the King for Another Day tournament event, where there would be different contestants that each had criteria for or like they had like themes with the types of rips that they compete with. And Reactive Factory, Work It Out. This is from Sonic R. Oh man, like I love Sonic R's soundtrack. It's like a, you know, old Sonic racing game. The OG Sonic racing game, honestly. But because of the soundtrack, honestly, I'd be down to play it. But I like that this, you know, this one's a little more like a kind of like a techno remix. I like it. Techno funk, maybe future funk, but yeah, all for it. I'm all for it. And the second pre-stream song was Bliss by Golem with two M's. That I think this might have come up in my Spotify while I was listening to maybe a future funk playlist or something. But this definitely makes a good rave song.
Right here.
And I like the "it's Michael Jackson" or whatever the line was that they sampled there. So you know, good shit. And then the pre-stream video, I think it's it looks like a couple streamers, and I think it might be a mod for one of the Resident Evil games. I think I remember seeing that in the comments, but I don't remember. The main reason why I wanted to keep it was because it's got fucking Virgil driving around in his plastic garden chair, and the fact that they have this Bury the Light playing in the background too is pretty funny. But yeah, you gotta love the Devil May Cry mods, or like even mods for other games with Devil May Cry characters. So good stuff. And how we doing today, Jacob and Chuck? What's up? I certainly hope you would not be the first for seppuku. But yeah, let me put some background music because, you know, this is gonna be a drinking game stream because it's the weekend, and I got margarita strawberry flavor. It's a Cayman Jacked once again. I picked up some more, but yeah. How have you guys been for the weekend? Me? Not bad. Saturday, thankfully was a little more chill. We got an overtimer from HIPAA's team, and it was a different therapist than I thought, but he's cool. He's one of the newer staff though, so it's like, you know, we kind of showed him how we work. But it was overall a chill day. I think each of us had like 2 clients, so not bad. And one of the clients, I didn't work with this guy, but he apologized to me because he remembered when he kind of flipped out on me this one time. He was referred to us because, like, you know, he needed housing and we didn't have anything for him, so, you know, he got angry about that. But this time he was chipper, and he had a shitload of bags with him, and he wanted to go to a certain kind of It's like our alternate detox center, but it's not. No. It doesn't work the same way as the main one that we have. But the thing is, that place actually blocked our number. Like, we're not able to get their numbers anymore. And from what we've heard, they stopped taking the majority insurance that our clients use. So I let this certain client know, and he's like, "Oh, that's okay." Blah blah blah. Like, I don't think it really went through in his head, but I mean, eventually we gave him a bus pass. Right? It's so whack. Like, it might be because a lot of the people there would just use it for shelter instead of, you know, for substance use services or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what the official story is, but that's just from what we've heard. Anyways, the guy was all like, "Hey, you like anime, right?" And I'm like, "What? How'd you know?" And I never actually worked with this guy, but maybe I drove him back home or to some place, and then somehow we talked about anime or something. I don't remember, but he was like telling me, he was giving me anime recommendations. He's like, "Yeah, I've been on Crunchyroll. You should watch Ninja Scroll. Like, there's a movie, but there's also a series." And then he's like one of them old school, like he's an old school anime fan, because it's like he was talking about one of the older pirating sites. I think it was like something like Silvershare or something. I don't remember what the name was, but he's like, "Yeah, I've been watching Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll on there," and I'm like, "Cool, man." And like, I was telling him that me and Kyler, like, not naming Kyler, of course, but that we watched well, one of the animes we've been watching is called Heavy Night. It's actually ongoing. But like, we're caught up, so we're just kind of waiting for weekly releases. I think I've mentioned it on stream a little bit before, but it's basically this guy has been, it's an isekai, but we don't see him in his previous life. He's just kind of describing what the previous life is like. He's like, oh, yeah, I've been transported to the game that I used to play a lot, except there's like differences. There's slight differences between the real world game version and then the world that he's in. But I kind of like how they animate the hair. Like, I don't know, the hair when they animate the characters, like it's very flowy. And like when they have close-ups on the eyes, it's kind of like looking at stars and stuff, like a starry sky. So it's pretty neat. I have forgotten to mention, there's another anime that Kyler and I picked up. I don't actually know the whole name of I don't know the name of the full title, but it's basically like this guy has some online friends that they play an MMORPG together, and you can get married in the game. But anyways, he has a guild, there's 4 of them total, and they all turn out to go to the same school, and his other 3 guild members are all girls, but then one of them he's married to in the game, and like, the girl in real life, like she can't distinguish reality from the game, and like she keeps calling him husband, but it's actually, it's pretty wholesome. Like they're like, you know, like slice of life anime kind of stuff. They work on bonds. Yeah. And also, like, the teacher, their teacher actually turns out to be playing the game too, and like the main character confessed to the teacher's avatar in the same game, but he didn't realize it was the teacher. And like the teacher in question plays as if she's like, I don't know, some older, maybe 40-year-old man, but just like as a girl character, and like does a lot of cat puns because she's a cat girl in the game. But it's a fun little anime. But yeah, that happened, and now we're here. We also watched Evangelion 1.0 last night for the Discord server, and that was neat. Yeah, like, it's nice to see the crisper animation, and also like the CG is not too bad. Like it really fits with the world, and just when you see the little differences and then it's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun watching more of the rebuilds. But yeah, today's been chill. We got to play Magic at Kyler's bro's house, and then there was one other person. But I swear to God, one of the games took maybe about 2 hours. Like, everyone had had shit to pull, I was playing my Maha deck, so that's the one where if the commander is summoned, all other creatures have their toughness down to 1. But there were so many field wipes. About 7 to 8, I think. But it was all in all fun. But yeah. Can't imagine how people manage to commit seppuku. Can't be easy, it's deliberately painful. Like, and if you miss, like, cause if you don't know where to stab, that'd still hurt a lot. But oh man, you have to be very precise where you stab. But it's, oh man, I can't imagine either. But yeah, if you guys want to take part in this drinking game stream, whether it's with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage, I'll let you guys know when to drink. Put this down. Excuse me. Alright, so we'll drink every time Yukimura says, huh? Excuse me. Every time Yukimura is useless. Twice if she angsts about not being able to help more. Every time we get a CG. Any member of the Shinsengumi appears out of nowhere to save Yukimura in the nick of time. Okita casually mentions killing someone, twice if it's Yukimura. When someone completely fails to be fooled by Yukimura's cross-dressing. When someone mentions seppuku, twice if they're actually expressing the intention to commit seppuku. When Yukimura cries, twice if it happens when someone else is obviously holding back tears. Saito or Yamazaki turns out to have been lurking unseen in the shadows. When anyone calls a previously unseen lurker out of the shadows because they could tell all along that a person was there. Yukimura serves tea, Yukimura sweeps, Hijikata and Kazuma face off, Saito and Amagiri face off, Harada and Shiranui face off. Drink a whole bunch when the 3 above occur at the same time. When someone points out that not having to protect the Shinsengumi... I'm sorry. Someone points out that not having to protect Yukimura would leave the Shinsengumi better off, but the Shinsengumi insists on continuing to do so anyway. Someone has an episode of Fury Bloodlust. When Kazuma calls any member of the Shinsengumi insects or dogs of the shogunate, Kazuma talks about the Furies being fakes, Okita coughs, Okita says, I can still fight, Hijikata says any form of that's in order, Harada talks about how it's a man's duty to protect women and or children, Saito delivers a soliloquy about swords, Heisuke angsts about being a monster, someone drinks Yukimura's blood, Amagiri interrupts and stops a fight, when you hear the phrase warrior spirit or bushi no tamashi, someone tells Yukimura any form of I leave, insert whoever's route it is to you, Hijikata says nandato or what the hell, every time someone says seriously, sheesh, don't worry, for real, calm down, among, white, or thank you so much, every time I make a wrong choice and have to go back, every time a character dies, every time anyone is loud, 2 drinks if it's Nagakura, every time alcohol is involved, every time Kazuma insists Yukimura should be his waifu, every time Okita simps for Kondo, every time the date is announced, for every grammar or spelling error, every time sentence or fingers, and then every time fingers are described as slender. I know that's a whole lot of prompts we went over, but if you guys have any ideas to add, you know, last minute ideas, please let me know and I'll consider adding them to the list. Your visitors are gone. Thank God they left early just now. I see. Excuse me. Damn, wait, this is early? Well, I mean, it is nice when you don't have to, you know, worry about having to attend to the visitors so much. You know, just you know, everything's back to normal, so cool. But yeah. Oh, also, update with Tomodachi Life. Now Rise is asking for a kid, so I have to get rid of yet another resident in Tomodachi Life. And I'm still trying to figure out who, but I'm kind of leaning towards Ivan because in High Vigor Academy, he's not really too much of a major character. I would have thought Debbie, but she just got in a relationship with Omni-Man like recently, so I kind of don't want to get rid of her right now. And it looks like one of them wants to marry the other, so I'm like, okay. I would like to see them get married.
No, I got it with my phone.
Oh, also, yeah, if you're hearing Kyler because he's playing Hunt right now, so yeah, that's why you hear him. You beat Lucifer and Shiva, congrats! Very nice, so what do you think?
I got it.
Also, do you know what route you got? Problem that you were dealing with was that they never cleaned up after themselves and left things lying around the house. Oh, that's annoying.
Prison, please.
Yeah. Let's see. Last time on Hakawoki, we were on the boat ride to Edo. Yamazaki gave us his final words. He at least got to, you know, tell Hijikata what he wanted to when he was dying. The Shinsengumi got their makeovers, like the Western clothing. We got to see Hijikata's first episode of Bloodlust, except it's weird because usually there's a CG for when he drinks blood, but there wasn't anything there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You chose Chaos. Right, okay, Yuzuru's the Chaos guy with Kushimizu. You know what, I felt like you'd either go with them or the fuck, what's her name? The Chinese lady with the Raido lookalike. Nua, yeah. It was either those two, but yeah. Okay, well, cool. Yakumo, right. Yeah, that was the guy. I totally forgot well, I forgot some characters' names, but cool. Cool. They want a world for humanity alone. Okay. Yeah, you know, I heard that the Chaos route kind of better than how it was in vanilla. So, you know, cool. A world for humanity alone is BS for a game where you bond with demons. It is. But yeah, here we go. Oh, also, almost forgot to mention, the girl that I was trying to write a hold on that escaped. So it turned out she got arrested. She got arrested on Saturday, and she went from the jails, and then they wrote a hold on her in the jails because she was still unable to give a plan for where she could get food, shelter, clothing, yada yada. And like, she just acting very bizarre over there. So she went over to Peck, and as soon as she got to Peck, the Peck lead called me up and let me know what happened, because it's like, hey, here's your girl, and I'm like, oh. But they had to clear her because she took methadone. So she ended up over at the hospital, but still on a hold. So me considering her going on a hold was a good choice, but it's just too bad she got away. But either way, I'm glad, because that is help that she needed. So hopefully things work out on her end. Thought Canon of Creation was basically the same as vanilla. Oh, okay, you went with... That's right, you went with Creation. I don't know. I feel like they tweaked it up, because I was watching a video on it, and they mentioned that they tweaked things up compared to...
Gotcha, partner.
Vanilla.
However,
they might... Maybe I'm just remembering wrong, and they were mostly talking about the vengeance routes, but... I don't know. Well, either way, congratulations. Anyways, we'll go back to the story here. Afterwards, the Koyo Regulatory Company found itself surrounded by enemy forces. Kondo did his best to try and explain to them that he and his men were only there to protect the area around Kofu Castle. Yes, okay, Canon of Vengeance has Tao for law and Yoko for chaos. Okay. Okay, that's what it was then.
That's fucking retarded, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember the guy in the video that I was watching, he's all like, yeah, the chaos route is kind of bullshit. Or, okay, maybe not the route itself, but Yuzuru himself as the chaos representative is a bit of a weird choice. That's just what I remember. Unfortunately, one of the new recruits cried out that they were the Shinsengumi and opened fire on the castle's defenders. That was the spark that lit the powder keg. The bulk of our opponent's forces were men from the Tosa domain. They had been trained in Western tactics and weapons, whereas our guns were old and didn't have the range. It quickly became a hopeless battle. If they swapped the labels on neutral and chaos, it would make more sense. Right. Kondo had no choice but to retreat. We have to go, Kondo. If we don't go now, you'll be killed.
しかし、大使たちがまだ戦っているというのに、我々だけ逃げるわけには。
Kondo, if you stay, then you'll die too. Even if we lose this battle, Hichikata says that as long as you're safe, there's still hope. We can regroup and fight back later. I grabbed Kondo's hand and pulled him as hard as I could towards the road down the mountain. Tao's law, Dazai's law are very different. Right. And vice versa with the chaos routes. Which, I sure hope they are. He looked across the battlefield at his men. They were hopelessly outnumbered, many already fallen. I saw tears well up at the corners of his eyes. He bowed deeply toward the men still engaged in battle. That's someone else crying. That's 2 drinks. Just then, Saito returned from the front line.
撤退の準備は整ったか。では行くぞ。
Right. Come on, Kondo. We have to go. You started Canon of Vengeance, forgot Yoko's kind of an edgelord. Well, okay. But yeah, she is very edgy. Saito and I took hold of him and ran into the forest to escape under cover of night. We'll be in Hachioji soon, Kondo. Hang in there. Perhaps it was because I'd never seen him lose before, but this was the first time I'd seen Kondo so drained. You can't beat yourself up over that now. Like Hijikata said, we just don't have what it takes to beat an army with Western weapons and tactics. Might as well have kept my mouth shut, for all that my words seemed to reach him. Kondo continued staring numbly beyond us. You're gonna do a fizz build instead of magic and very few of the same demons. Yeah, it's good to have a variety. Low-key, I'm kind of surprised you're going for another, another playthrough, but, the more the merrier. Who drained Kondo's balls? Oh, you know. Are you listening to me? I said. Just then. From the other side of the bushes, I heard a voice that didn't sound familiar. I peeked out just long enough to catch sight of a uniform that didn't belong to any of our soldiers. We froze. Thank you, Saito. I had to get Kondo away from here as fast as possible. Excuse me. Oh yeah, no, Vengeance versus Creation are pretty different. Watch you do all the fucking endings. No, but I'm glad you're enjoying the game. Just as I had finally managed to get Kondo moving at a decent pace, a shadow leapt out of the undergrowth to bar our way. Ugh. Turn the difficulty up to hard? Okay. The shadow was none other than the demon Amagiri, companion of Kazuma.
Yukimura-kun, 彼は確か薩摩藩の手の者だったな。
Yes.
これ以上逃げ切るのはどう考えても無理だろう。ここは潔く負け戦の責任を取って腹を詰めたい。そちらのご意見、解釈を願えるか。
Okay, well, he mentioned seppuku right there. I'll drink for that. What on earth are you saying? No, I can't let you die here. Amagiri remained silent while watching our short exchange. Then he spoke up.
私は薩摩藩のために働いてはいますが、新選組の方々を切れとの命令は受けておりません。用があるのはそちらの娘だけです。
Me?
君とあの土方という若者は
Yeah,
風を
vexed is
狂わせ
a, you know, nice way to put it. Wait.
藩の意向を無視し単独行動ばかり起こす彼に薩摩藩も手を焼いています。
So now we have to kill you.
だが我々としても今薩摩藩と手を切るわけにはいかないです。
Oh, whoops, hold on.
だが我々としても今
I thought he was
薩
done.
摩藩と手を切るわけにはいかない。
It wasn't funny at the time because it cost you
This
45 minutes of progress, but in retrospect, it was when you attacked an elite Kate Sith and it just used Frykugel X to one-shot you. What the fuck? That's whack. Amagiri's eyes promised violence, and his body tightened, ready to make good on that promise. Excuse me.
ここで死んでもらいます。
He was unarmed, but I knew just how powerful he was. My blade would do me little good in this situation, but it was still better than nothing. I drew my Kodachi and calmly took my stance. Kondo, go. This man is after me and only me. He must escape.
しかし
Wow, Yukimura protecting someone? I'll be fine. I have a sword and he has no weapons at all. Please, the Shinsengumi needs you. You can't abandon them. Kondo's mouth hung slack for a moment, speechless. Then he shut it, set his jaw, and drew his sword.
どんな理由があろうとも女子供を見捨てて逃げるなど武士のすることではない。
It's like an extreme version of when Puss in Boots gives the cute eyes and then starts fighting like a master swordsman. True. Kondo, what are you saying? Kondo took his stance, slowly closing the distance between Amagiri and himself.
これは敗残の将だ。
Instead of swordplay, it's a giant fucking laser to the face. Ah.
Alright, boys. Fight ready.
俺が女性を守って死ぬことができるんだ。
My bot is ready.
武士として男としては最高の死に方じゃないかね。
No. Or no. Oh, whatever. His face was calm and serene, and there was no hesitation in his eyes. I'd seen that look before, on Inoue's face just before he died under Kazuma's blade. He couldn't be convinced. His mind was made up. His eyes shone with determination. How exactly does Amagiri plan to kill Yukimura? Beat her to death? Well, yes. When he spoke, his voice rang out. Don't remember this Kondo sprite? Yeah, we don't really see it a lot. I'm pretty sure we've seen this at least once before, but...
新選組局長近藤勇参るにゃー
Yeah, you go, Kondo. His sword held high, he charged towards Amagiri. Ugh. You can't! I had to make it in time. I rushed forward, throwing myself in between them. But then... Ugh. A massive blow sent me flying. Dang, what the fuck? That was an intense sound effect for her hitting the ground? I hit the ground hard.
Keep reading it, Jen.
The next moment, Amagiri turned to face Kondo.
か弱き者のために勝ち目のない戦いに挑む。
When it said I had to make it in time, imagine the game suddenly throwing a quick time event at me. Damn, can you imagine? At the last moment, he slid out of the path of Kondo's blade as if made of water. He then grasped Kondo's blade with his left hand and drove his fist right into Kondo's stomach. As Kondo began to fall toward the ground, Amagiri flipped him around so that he slammed directly onto his back. Ouch.
Why not? Let's go for
灰袋を思い切り
what else are
叩き
we doing
ま
with
し
their
た。
lives?
しばらく呼吸ができないはずです
The average person is 60% water, so I mean, yeah, true.
Beeline their ass there.
He glanced down at Kondo, groaning on the ground, then turned his eyes to me.
さて次は君です。悪く思われるように
Not.
Amagiri swung his fists mercilessly.
Oh, scrappy.
I had no time to dodge. His fists pounded me to the ground. I felt like my whole body was going to shatter. Enduring the pain, I got back up. Beat the shit out of the little cocksucker. Right?
We'll start consultating wiring as soon as we get there. I'm gonna grab a bunch of these and then I'll rush in.
いいでしょう。ならば今しばらくはお付き合いいたします。
It's red.
I adjusted my stance, held out my sword, and charged with all my might. He evaded my attack with no effort whatsoever. Can you imagine this being animated? Amagiri just punching Yukimura? Oh yeah.
Who's still outside?
I couldn't let one swift dodge deter me. I muttered this to myself, and I swung. Once, twice, and then thrice.
Two are outside.
However, Amagiri's elegant technique moved him out of the path my blade. Hold on. Wait, moved him out of the path my blade. He was like water. The game sure does like describing him like water or whatever. But yeah, that's a grammar drink. Should be path of.
Coming right through your body.
No matter how many times I charged and slashed at him, my blade would not connect. Then, finally... Waterbender, probably. Gah! I hadn't seen his leg move until it slammed into my sword arm with the force of a cannonball.
Oh, Bucky.
Immediately, the pain was so overwhelming it felt as if time had stopped. My Kodachi fell to the ground with a dull clang. Ah!
Oh my God.
You know what? Well, I'm at least glad she fought. She tried her best. At least she's doing something. I clasped the area where he kicked me, and I fell to my knees. No, I had to get up. My brain screamed at me to move, to pick up my sword and fight, but the roar of pain drowned it out.
Yes, sir.
勝負あったようですね。悪く思わないでください。すぐ楽になれるよう、一撃であの世へ送ってあげましょう。
Maybe he's gonna snap her neck. Oh, that's true, he might. Did you win?
No.
Aw. I'm sorry, Hijikata. I thought to myself.
I'm not Hijikata.
Yeah, sure. You said to protect Kondo. You told me to survive. And yet, there was nothing I could do. I braced myself for the end. Oh, of course. Alright, this is someone from the Shinsengumi appearing out of nowhere to save her. In the nick of time. I wonder who that could be. That voice! It couldn't be! My head shot up, just in time to see Hijikata leap through the air and slice through Amagiri's arm. Who could it be now? It's you. You know, I don't remember this being in the anime, so either way, it's cool. We get to see Amagiri fight Hijikata instead.
そりゃやってみなきゃわからねえだろ。剣術3倍弾って知ってるか。刀を取った敵を都市空拳で倒すにゃ相手の3倍の実力が必要なんだ。
あくまでも修羅の道を歩み続けますか。いいでしょう。相手をしてあげます。
He gave Hijikata a short, polite bow and dropped himself easily into a ready stance. Excuse me. Hijikata's Izumi no Kami Kanesada flickered through the air, little more than a streak of silver. Amagiri blocked with one hand and dodged away from the flickering blade. Before Hijikata could react, Amagiri's foot drove itself into his stomach. Dang, these intense sound effects. Hijikata's face twisted in pain, and he staggered back a step. Perhaps it was his fury-born strength, or perhaps it was simply adrenaline, but he surged back and leapt toward Amagiri. His sword leapt forward to bury itself in Amagiri's chest. Blood spurted out, splashing across Hijikata's face. He jerked back, pulling his sword free. No sooner was it out than the wound began to close.
鬼ってのはすぐに傷が治っちまうんだった。
Do I remember the commercials for sour candies where the person scrunches up their face like crazy? Yes?
心臓をつかなきゃ殺せないってのも
His sword shone with fresh blood.
だがあんたの動きはもう見切ったぜ。
Damn, Hijikata's kinda quiet. You'd think he'd be Kazuma or something. Just imagine Hijikata like that when it said his face twisted in pain. Oh. Silly. Drenched in blood, Hijikata looked more like a monster than a human being. There was something terrifying and inhuman about his expression as he whipped his sword through the air. Amagiri caught Hijikata's sword barehanded, at the last possible moment. Jabs and parries, feints and counterfeints, the battle flowed between them like a living thing, its changes moving too fast for any mortal eyes to track. Neither man showed any sign of tiring as they dodged and attacked in ways that would have been unthinkable to any human. Even in the middle of that maelstrom of death and violence, I could see Hijikata smiling. The smell of blood hung heavy in the air, and his grin spoke of a fury's lust for death. Instead of Iggy Pop's lust for life, we got lust for death. Dark Iggy Pop.
その比類なき力、一体何に使うつもりです？
何に言った？大切なもんを守るために決まってるだろう。
Such a lust for revenge. Ooh.
大切なもの。君にとっては徳川
A long drink.
そうじゃねえ。もっと別の幕府とは比べ物にならねえくらい大きくて大切なもんだ。
Amagiri closed his eyes and was silent. What had gotten into him? Why had he stopped fighting? This was the perfect time to strike. I reached down slowly and picked up the sword I dropped only minutes before. I began to move forward when a hand on my shoulder stopped me. What the hell? Saito! But Hijikata is going to... Hold on, I kind of want to count that as Saito having been... He was lurking unseen in the shadows. I'll count that as a drink. I didn't think he was watching.
あの鬼から殺気が消えている。戦いはすでに終わった。
What?
鬼である我々は本来人の世界に関わるべきではない。羅刹となった君も歴史の表に出てはいけない生き物です。
ああ、そりゃ分かってる。俺は別に
Funny because it is in the history books. Or I don't know. I don't know if Japanese history classes teach about the Shinsengumi.
分かっているのなら、あとは君に任せます。
Wait, hold on. Say that again. Yeah, okay, that was a Nandato drink. They're kind of big in pop culture if nothing else, which very true.
Kazama wa gaga
I like how like, the Shinsengumi are even in Gintama.
以前屈辱を味わわせた君を絶対に許しはしないでしょう。君が勝つ可能性は低い。ですがそれでも守りたい何かがあるというのなら守るためのその力大切に使ってください。
Hijikata looked him over, doubt, playing on his face. Excuse me, Jesus. Wait, excuse me. It was as if he were searching for the demon's true intentions. Amagiri's like, let's fight to the death. Actually, never mind, right?
そしてもう一つ、君に伝えておかなければならないことがあります。羅刹の力は決して神仏からの授かり物ではない。人並み以上の腕力、敏捷性、そして驚異的な回復力。それはすべて君の体に秘められたもの。本来数十年かけて使い果たしてゆくはずの力を借りているに過ぎません。
My hands flew to my mouth. By borrowing, did he mean that when Hijikata used the speed and strength of a fury, he was picking away at his future? His life? Le gasp, right?
力を使えば使うほど残りの寿命が短くなっちまうってことか。
そういうことです。
なるほど。話がうますぎると思ったんだ。ま、薩長と殺し合いやってんのに残りの寿命も
Hijikata.
それぐらいどうってことねえよ。
supposed to have a nice long life with Yukimura.
では、私はもう行きます。
ちょっと待ってくれ。一つ聞かせてほしい。
何でしょ
う。俺を見逃しちまっていいのか。このまま放っておい
Were
た
you
ら。
watering outside? Oh.
あの風間ってやつを。
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Because I'm like, that's a big piss stream.
You know what? From a big penis.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys could have heard it, but it sounded like someone was watering something outside, and I'm like, was it the sprinklers? Yeah, it's either that or yeah, the piss,
君に倒され
the
るなら
super
ば
laser piss.
その程度の男だということでしょう。我ら鬼は情でつながっているわけではない。
You were thinking of the cursed Rouge of the Bat View? I know, right? Anytime, honestly, anytime I'm walking around or like walking near the bathroom and Kyler's taking a piss, I'm like, you fried chicken in there. God, that fucking meme. Then with a last polite nod, he disappeared into the night. His enemy gone at last, Hijikata slumped and took a long, deep breath. Hijikata, are you alright?
なんともねえ。それより、近藤さんはどうした？
局長ならあちらに。
Hijikata nodded and ran over to the chief.
近藤さん、無事か？どこか怪我してねえか？
Kondo looked as if he had seen a ghost. Oh, right. I don't think... Wait a minute. I don't think Kondo's ever actually seen one of the non-established, or like, oh, hold on. I don't think he's seen someone who isn't part of the Fury Corps, like, you know, at least officially become a Fury. Hijikata stood before him, his white hair and red eyes bright in the moonlight. A Fury! A white drink. Ooh. It's just a wig, Chief. Hijikata startled. Wait, well, hold on. Hijikata started and then looked away, almost guiltily. Toshizaza. Hold on a minute. Hijikata started and then looked away. I feel like something's missing here. Maybe it's stared. Maybe it's supposed to be stared. I don't know. Either way, this feels off. I'm gonna take a drink for it. Kondo stared at him for a moment before asking in a soft, stunned voice.
なったのか。羅刹に。
まあな。しょうがねえよ。これも新選組を勝たせるためだ。
He just dyed his hair. Yeah. For a moment, he sounded very composed, but as I peered closer, I realized that he was desperately avoiding Kondo's gaze. He couldn't bear to look his friend in the eye. We were... Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Damn, that is quick, heavy rain. We were silent for several moments, and when the first raindrop hit me, it took me by surprise. There goes the bitrate. Damn. Right. Come on, Kondo. We have to hurry. I said, as I turned around to make sure Kondo was following. But he simply stood there. Kondo? Is something wrong? What is this, Singapore? What is this, the Philippines? It began to rain harder, and still, Kondo didn't move. He simply stood, letting the rain pour down onto him. As drops slid down his cheek, he muttered.
俺は今まで一体何をしてたんだ。今日の戦で俺を信じて
Oh, Chowder.
別れた中たくさん死なせてしまった。
Oh my god, Kondo, no, that's not you who did it.
羅刹にしてしまうなんて。
近藤さん、いきなり何を言い出すんだ。
Jesus Christ. Chowder just... Oh, I think he hears the car outside, but he was like... We have that, the Spotify playlist where it plays squeaky toy sounds, or dogs howling, or barking. And, like, Chowder was in our room, and you could just hear this whole shuffle of paws. Little shuffling of paws, like he kind of slipped or something. And he just starts running over here. Squeak. Silly dog. Aw.
誰もあんたのせいだなんて思ってねえよ。どんな名軍師だって。様式化された軍を
Damn it, every time I see a sword versus gun, I keep hearing the... You see, my stand is the gun. Your sword can't beat my gun. Well, what's that? I can beat your bum. Oh, you're into that stuff.
俺だって鳥羽不信の戦いじゃ源さん山崎を死なせちまってるんだ。負けちまったのはしょうがねえ。大事なのはこれからどうやって勝負をひっくり返すかってことだろう。それに俺は別に羅刹になったことを後悔なんて
Win the next time, huh? Yeah.
むしろ人間をはるかに超えた力を手に入れられて、それはあんたのために役立てられる。嬉しくてしょうがねえさ。
The rain poured down onto them both. Surely it was my imagination, but for a moment, it almost looked as though Hijikata was crying. Kondo stared at him for a long moment. Excuse me, then finally drew himself up. I don't know. I'm not gonna count it as a crying drink because it just looks like it. But I don't know. Maybe he is. But I'm not going to assume.
弱気になってしまったな。今の言葉は忘れてくれ。
Something in his voice told me that even he didn't quite believe that. Oh! That! Meds time. Oh shit, hold on. I hope I didn't actually make it snooze or anything. Let me double check. I don't want it to go off again. Ooh, chapter 2. Okay, we returned to Edo to meet up with Nagakura and the rest of our forces who were at the Hatamoto mansion. Kondo was disconsolate from his first defeat on the battlefield, more so than any of us had expected. Even after he had returned to headquarters, his tired, dispirited sighs never stopped. Lord Yoshinobu, the supreme commander of the shogunate army, was banished from the imperial court and into house arrest at the Kan-e temple in Ueno. The imperial court was now in the hands of the Satsuma and the Choshu. It was becoming clear that the shogunate was at a disadvantage. Sometime later, I was sweeping the entrance when I looked up to see Saito on his way out. Yes, Yukimura sweeping, yes! That's a drink. Oh, Saito, are you off to work? Have a good day. Gosh, he sure does love that tea. Sweeping as usual, I see. Without even waiting for me to respond, he gave a curt nod and was off. Saito had never been talkative to begin with, but lately he'd seemed exceptionally taciturn. Perhaps he was still upset over what had happened. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. Oh, we're at that part. Are you really leaving? I'm surprised we're seeing it through a flashback, though.
俺たちと近藤さんじゃ目指してるものが全然違う。これから先一緒にやっていけるとは思えねえ。
No more loud Gakura. I see. It's going to be lonely here without you. And much quieter. What are you going to do now? Wish Azumi had the voice he had in Raido. I know, huh?
今んとこまだ決めてねえけど、これからも薩長と戦うってのは変わらねえぜ。そのうち俺があいつらを何百人切ったって知らせがこっちにも届くと思うから楽しみに待っててくれよ。
Oh, excuse me.
そんじゃ元気でな。
Thank you. I will. I hope you do too. We've been so close. It was sad to see them go. Then again, I'd only known them for I'd only known them a few years. How sad their departure had to be for Kondo, Hijikata, and Saito, who'd known them much, much longer. There was someone else missing as well. Okita's condition had worsened, and he'd been moved to a separate house in Sendagaya. Bro, we couldn't even hear any words from him. One by one, the people I'd come to know in Kyoto were disappearing. Womp womp womp, right? Hijikata must be getting some work done in his room. I decided to go make some tea for him. He's gonna have another episode of Bloodlust, I can feel it. Hijikata, I brought you some tea. It's a... excuse me, serving tea drink. I opened the door as I spoke and stopped. Peeking halfway in, I saw Sanan and Heisuke. Oh, he needs some milk. All three faces were set in hard lines. Whatever I had interrupted, it was serious. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in the middle of a meeting. I began to back away as quickly as I could when... Imagine they all got Fury Bloodlust at the exact same time. Oh, that'd be fucked. His words froze me in place, but before I could reply, Sanan spoke.
そのままの意味だ。今後羅刹隊の大使を増や
Ooh,
すつもりは
Sanon's gonna be
今いる
pissed.
人員でなんとかし
Or
て
he is pissed. They all have to suck some of her blood. Yeah, no, that's the other thing.
その命令には納得できません。今の新選組の兵力を考えると、羅刹隊の増
It's
強は
not gay
急
if the
務のは
tongues
ずで
don't
す。
touch, bro.
先ほど東堂君から聞きました。長倉君と原田君が脱退してしまったと。彼らの離脱は相当の痛手です。新たな大使を募ったところで、所詮は烏合の衆。
Rabble. Rabble.
敵が近づ
Rabble,
いてくれ
rabble.
ば
That's a fun
すぐ
word
に
to
逃げ
say.
出してしまう。そんな者たちに期待をかけるより、我々羅刹隊の力をもっと生かすべきではないですか。
Heisuke looked down at the floor. It was clear from his face that, Fury or not, he didn't always agree with Sanan.
確かに兵力を増強することだけ考えるなら、羅刹隊を強化するのが一番手っ取り早いだろう。
ならばどうして。
だが、羅刹には重大な欠点がある。これは信頼できる筋から得た情報。
Reliable source. Trust me, bro. He meant to tell Sanan what he'd learned from Amagiri.
羅刹の力の源は、その人間の寿命だ。つまり、力を使えば使うほど、この先生きていられる時間が短くなっちまう。
なんですって。
Hijikata's words rendered him speechless. His eyes, usually so cool and calculating, went wide as saucers behind his glasses.
つまり、やむを得ねえ時を除いて、羅刹の力はなるべく使わねえに越したことはねえ。
The color had drained from his face. Silence filled the room for several long seconds. Sanan finally raised his head and spoke.
でしたら、なおさら研
Yeah,
究を進めるべきでしょう。研究を続ければ、その欠点を補う方法も見つかるかもしれない。それは羅刹となった君のためにも必要なことのはずです。
副長命令だ。
Oh, that's an order drink.
もちろん、部隊の増強もなしだ。
Sanan said nothing in return. Instead, he simply glared at Hijikata.
三男さん、行こうぜ。
If looks could kill. He sat unmoving for a few more moments, face still deathly pale. Eventually, he sighed in defeat.
わかりました。
Sanan and Heisuke had turned to leave the room when...
あれ近藤さん、こんなところで何してるんだ。
いや、ちょっと散歩に出ようと思ってな。たまたま通りかかっただけだ。気にしないでくれ。
I heard them exchange a few short words in the hallway, and then 3 sets of footsteps faded away. In real life, Sanan outranked Hijikata. Damn, so I wonder why they went with Hijikata being the commander here in this game. Hijikata sighed and let his gaze drift out the window. The tea's cold now, isn't it? I'll go pour you a new cup.
いや、喉が渇いているからな。これくらいでちょうどいい。
It went Kondo, Sanan, Hijikata. He took a sip, a distant look in his eyes. He'd taken on a tremendous workload, tiring him day in and day out. Hold on, let me start that over. He'd taken on a tremendous workload, tiring him day in and out, and he looked drained beyond all reason. How hard had Nagakura and Harada's departure hit him? Until Sanan died around the time he becomes a fury in this game. Oh, okay. So I wonder if maybe that's why they made Hijikata higher ranking than him. I don't know. I have no answers. I'm not the devs.
新八と原田の足抜けは相当の痛手か。正論だよな。返す言葉もねえよ。
His voice shook almost imperceptibly, and his mouth curled into a bitter smile as he spoke.
いずれこうなるだろうってのは覚悟してたし、あの二人に夢を見せてやれなかったのは俺たちの町とだ。にしても、新選組も人が随分減って様変わりしちまったな。
To be a leader and command the loyalty and obedience of hundreds of men was something I couldn't begin to understand. Every night, he worked until the sun came up. It was painful for the Furies to be up during the day, but every day, Hijikata met with shogunate representatives. Even I could see the horrible toll it was taking on his body. What should I say to him? Tell him to rest, not stop. He's gonna be pissed if he hears that, I think. So let's tell him to rest. Please, Hijikata, you need to rest. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Oh, hold on. Let me move my prompt should be on this window. There we go. Alright, what is the answer? Tell him to— oh shit, no, it's the other thing. You should rest yourself now. Damn, okay, well, I'll reload drink. It should be stopped, I guess. Excuse me. You need to stop. Go home. Where are your parents, Hijikata? Please, Hijikata. You have to stop.
やめろってのはどういう意味だ?
His voice was much harsher than I'd expected, and it gave me pause. No, I thought to myself. This was something I had to say. You need to stop versus you need to stop a different— exactly, this fucking game. I'm only telling you to do what you told Sannan to do a few minutes ago. Don't use your Fury abilities unless it's an emergency. Oh, is that what they meant? Jeez. Okay. I thought it just meant stop everything. Stop being a Shinsengumi. Just leave. Just quit.
なんでお前にそんなことを指図されなきゃいけねえんだ?
You became a Fury because you were protecting me from Kazuma. If you hadn't fought a demon, then you'd still be a human now. You wouldn't have had to—
前に言わなかったか。俺は俺の意志で落ち水を飲んだんだ。誰に強制されたわけでもね。
When you say things like that, it just makes it worse. If you're in pain, please just say so. Tell me the truth. I know you never wanted to become a Fury. For a moment, the room was silent, and then Hijikata began to laugh. But that's even worse.
かなわねえな、本当に。
Huh? Hot drink.
いや、お前も江戸の
What's that supposed to mean?
前に話したっけか。俺は玉の百姓の家の
Hijikata lore.
親父もお袋も割と早く
Oh
亡くな
damn.
っちまったから。
You were hoping she'd say a second hall. Oh, you never know. Maybe she'll say it again.
その姉貴の喋り方がお前に少し
The fuck? Oh, that's right. Soji does have a sister. I forgot. What does the dictionary say about Mitsu? Soji Okita's older sister, the eldest daughter of the Okita family. She took in a husband and is the master of the Okita family. His other older sister, Kin, married off. Oh, he has two older sisters. What the heck? I don't remember that. I thought he just had one.
身内に叱られてるみたいで、言うことを聞かなきゃならねえような気にさせられちまう。
Really? I've never heard him talk about his childhood like that before. It felt Surreal.
あの天霧とかいう鬼が言ってた通りなら、羅刹の力を使わなきゃ寿命が縮んだりはしねえってことだろ。本当にどうしようもねえくらい
Don't worry,
辛くな
Drink.
ったらそういうさ。だから
You're like my mom. No, don't mom zone me. Yeah, that's not what we're asking for. Shit, I don't know what's worse, mom zoning or the fucking sister zoning from Haruda. I think it was Haruda. Someone's sister zoned us. He'd likely keep most of his pain to himself. That was just who he was. But if he really meant that he would tell me when it became unbearable. Oh, that's right, it was Nagakura. Alright, I understand. I'd take his word for it this time. What will the Shinsengumi be doing now?
とりあえず近藤さんに気合を入れ直してもらって北に行こうと思ってる。
North?
今の幕府は頼りにならねえが、東北諸藩が残ってる。会津、仙台が中心になりゃ、まだまだ戦えるはずだ。松本先生の手配で、流山に武器弾薬、そして人を集めてもらってるんだ。そこで皆と合流して会津に向かう。仮に江戸を薩長に取られたとしても、奴らはいずれ京に戻らなきゃならねえはずだ。そうなったらすぐ江戸を取り戻して。
Suddenly, his body twisted and hunched, and he grasped a hand to his chest. Yeah, someone was gonna have bloodlust in this scene. This whole scene. And of course, it had to be Hijikata. And then... tortured groans escaped through his clenched teeth. Yeah, okay. Hijikata? What's wrong? It's a bloodlust drink. He only shook his head, unable to speak through the pain. I'd seen him like this before. Is it the bloodlust? He didn't respond, but I didn't need him to. I didn't need him to! Oh, Yukimura. That's a spelling error drink. 2, 2, and 2. These were clearly symptoms. They're from blood, obviously. What's wrong, Hijikata? It's the Taco Bell. Hijikata was in pain. I had no other choice. With steady hands, I drew my kodachi and laid the edge against my finger, ready to cut. But Hijikata's hand on my wrist stopped me. Why? The pain will go away if you drink blood. I tried to pull away, but he held fast and shook his head. What? Excuse me. He moved around behind me and loosened my collar. Excuse me. I felt the cool air touch my bare neck, followed by Hijikata's fingers as he looked for a place to make the cut. A moment later, I felt the kiss of the cold blade against my skin, and then, without a sound, I felt it sink in. That's your fingers getting there. I bit my lip at the pain, but said nothing. I just entrusted my body to Hijikata. Take this fucking... take that out of context. Finally, a CG. Ah! Alright, so that's someone drinking her blood and a CG drink. Is there anything else? 2 for now.
I've been waiting for this.
Right? Like, I'm still surprised that first time we didn't get a CG, because everyone has at least 3 CGs for the blood drinking. Oh yeah, they're both blushing. His warm lips touched the cut on my neck. I felt his face press against me as he drank, as thirsty as a man who had been stranded in the desert. I could feel his breath ghosting over my skin every time he swallowed, and it made me shiver. Never before had I been so close to a man. Nerves made me squirm. Hijikata grabbed my shoulder to hold me still. When he spoke, his voice was low and husky. Hoo-hoo. Yes. I realized suddenly that he didn't want me to see him drinking blood. Those few words, a last strained defense of his wounded pride, tore at my heart, and I felt a lump rise in my throat. For his sake, I did my best to calm my breathing, rapid from nerves. Though I did my best to hide it, there was no denying that my heart was beating faster and faster. Era okay, Hijikata. Was he saying that to convince me? Or to convince himself? Of course, I understand. You don't have to hold back. I want to help, in whatever way I can. I spoke from the heart. The day that I'd watched Inoue and Yamazaki die, there had been nothing I could do for them. Ever since, I'd cursed myself for being unable to help the Shinsengumi. But now, at last, there was something I could do. I could quench Hijikata's thirst. I felt his grip on me tighten. His warm embrace held a multitude of emotions I couldn't put into words. Eventually, he slowly let go and stepped away. His breathing had returned to normal, and there was color in his face again. Think it's funny she only quenches the love interest's thirst, not anyone else's. I know how, it's like everyone else, like there's so many other people here with that suffer from the bloodlust, and it's like, okay, sorry, no, it's only a love interest. Oh no, it's nothing. See? The cut's already closed up. I'll always be by your side. So if you ever need me, please, just let me know. Oh, yeah, you can. Excuse me. Yes. I nodded, and he gave me a crooked smile. He was only joking, and I knew that. But there was a part of me that felt if it was Hijikata who were the one to use me up and throw me away, then maybe I wouldn't mind. Dang, Yukimura! Damn, right? That was a bit much. Sometime after that incident, we moved to Shimosa in Nagarayama to the Nagaoka mansion. Kondo had become reluctant to go into battle, but after several talks with Hijikata, he was eventually convinced otherwise. Until we'd finished our preparations for our journey to Aizu, we would be training in Nagarayama. Saito was visiting some place named Ichikawa, where he would be training to use new, modern armaments. Sanan and Heisuke had left with the Fury Corps to Utsunomiya by way of Aizu, since they couldn't go to the Nagaoka mansion.
Yukimura senpai, 局長はどこですか?
Oh, Kondo was in his room reading a book. Is something the matter?
いえ、特に用事ってわけじゃないんですけど。
Nomura had a peculiar look on his face, as if there was something on his mind.
局長はもしかして新政府軍と戦う気力をなくしてしまったのかなって。
Well, I don't think that's the case. I wouldn't say that he's completely lost his will to fight. Nomura seemed hesitant to respond as he stayed silent for a moment, but eventually.
そうっすよね。局長はあの土方副長が尊敬している方なんですから。きっとすぐに元の局長に戻るに決まってますよね。
Yeah, I'm sure he will too.
すいませんでした。変なことを聞いて。
With that, Nomura quickly scurried off, entering the side of the building. He raised a good point, though. Ever since we had arrived here, Kondo had seemed like a different person. The ambitious fire in his eyes had grown a little dimmer. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. He would either lock himself up in his room, or he'd spend time reading or contemplating in the garden. But I held on to the sliver of hope that his confidence was only a little deflated from the defeat in Kofu. I knew that surely his confidence would soon be restored, and he'd return to his usual self. Kondo, I brought you some tea. Tea drink. Oh, sandwich. He paused in the act of flipping a page to smile up at me. What are you reading? Whoa. Wait, that's like 3 different... what does it look like on the dictionary here? Oh, okay. Let's see. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, a novel describing the turbulent period of Chinese history that began in the late Han Dynasty and lasted for nearly 100 years, known as the Three Kingdoms era. Biography of Kiyomasa, a biography of Kiyomasa Kato, a military commander during the Warring States era. And War Chronicles, a book detailing first-hand accounts from warriors and daimyo of the Warring States era. They contain factual information of the deeds and military exploits of soldiers in that time. And this guy is reading. That's a mood.
子供の頃は思ってたもんだよ。いつか完成帝君みたいに立派な武将になって自分ではない誰かのために戦おうって。 He
grinned like a young boy, but after a moment, the grin faded.
だが願うだけでは名将にはなれんのだな。それに気づくのは
Dang, we're getting like a lot more Kondo moments in this route, which is cool. He shut the book softly and set it down on top of his desk. What are you saying? You've only just begun. But he didn't even seem to hear me. I think he's up in his room, writing something. Probably orders for Saito. He's off in Ichikawa right now, you know?
そうか。トシには無理ばかりさせてるな。
I don't think he's pushing himself too hard. And nothing makes him happier than being able to help you. That's just the kind of person he is.
すっかりトシの交渉役が板についている。あいつのことをよくわかってるじゃないか。
You think so? He seemed quite serious about it, and I felt my cheeks getting warm. Oh, she needs to get closer. That's right. Back when I first joined the Shinsengumi, I was appointed a page, though, just as a cover. Okita's like, it should have been me, not him. Right?
そうだな。まさかこんなに長い付き合いになるとは、あいつも予想してなかっただろう。
Excuse me. Before I knew it, we were reminiscing about the time we'd spent in Kyoto. Back then, we never could have guessed that the Satsuma Choshu alliance would take control of the imperial court or reinstate the emperor. We'd faced many challenges, but I had thought we'd continue our lives as they were in Kyoto. But I know things will work out. Hijikata will get us through this. He responded with a melancholy smile.
だがな、雪村君。俺はそれも酷じゃないかと思うんだよ。
What do you mean? Before he could answer, the door suddenly opened. It was Hijikata and Shimada. The two rushed into the room with their faces tense and drawn. Hijikata? What happened? What do you mean still makes you think of Binya? Bro, me too. It's so funny that he says it so much that people have made compilations of it. Like, I didn't even notice until the compilations were made. Damn, it like sucks. Where it's like, let's say someone does this route for the first time and it's like, oh, we get so many of these nice, ups and downs kind of moments with Kondo too, and it's like, oh, I sure hope nothing bad happens to him. And then, canon event happens and it's like, oh, fuck. Like, this moment here is just kind of nice, but it's also very somber. Kind of like foreshadowing. And then, well, I mean, we know what happens now, and so it's just kind of, it is indeed melancholic looking at this, like, moment happening. What?
敵兵は2、300はいます。奴らに気づかれないよう裏口からここに入ってきました。
Man.
せめて桁が一つ少なきゃどうにかできたんだがな。
Ruh-roh. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of dudes. Hijikata chewed on his lip and glanced out the window, frustrated and tense. In a fight, right?
今からじゃ斎藤たちを呼び戻す時間もね。俺が何とかするしかなさそうだな。島田、それから雪村、近藤さんを連れて先に逃げてくれ。
What? Hijikata, not even you can take on that many people. And it's daytime out there.
そんなのやってみなきゃわかんねえだろ。
しかし、相手は銃を主体とした部隊です。
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Both Shimada and I moved toward the door in an effort to physically stop Hijikata. Excuse me, if it came to that. Kondo had been in quiet contemplation since Hijikata and Shimada had entered, but now he finally spoke. No!
トシがそこまでする
No,
必要はない。
Kondo!
俺が向こうの本陣へ行くよ。
何を言ってやがる。
What the hell,
死
Dream?
にに行くようなものじゃねえか。
もちろん新選組の近藤だとは名乗らんよ。偽名を使って別人になりすますつもりだ。俺たちは旗本でこの辺りを警備してる鎮圧部隊だと言えばごまかせるだろう。お前たちが逃げる時間くらいは稼げるはずだ。
Shimada and I were both shocked into silence, but not Hijikata. He immediately raised his voice.
バカかあんた。
Oh, that's definitely a loud drink.
思ってんのか。今日で散々見てきたじゃねえか。奴らが俺たちを恨んでねえはずがねえ。すぐに気づかれて捕まえられるに決まってるだろう。
仮に捕まってしまったとしても俺はもう大名の位をもらってるんだぞ。そう簡単に殺されはしないさ。
Chowder was starting to dig up at our carpet, and then Kyler played one of the squeaky sound effects, and then Chowder just sits down and just looks up at him. So funny. Are you sure about that? Right, Kondo? Man.
あんたは甘いんだよ。
Loud drink again.
奴らには毛ほどの価値もねえ。
Oh, Chowder. Oh, he's trying to howl.
させられるはずがねえじゃねえか。
Oh. No matter what Hijikata said, Kondo's face didn't change. He only gazed back at him, his expression cool and placid. Aww.
お前が何を言っても無駄だ。もう決めてしまったことだからな。
It's time for my canon event. No, Kondo, no. Hijikata began to shake. And all the time I had been with the Shinsengumi, I'd never seen Hijikata and Kondo act like this before. Usually it was Hijikata who kept a cool head and Kondo who succumbed to his emotions. But this time...
ふざけんじゃねえ。大将のあんたがいなくて
Okay.
何が新選
Loud
組だ。
drink, and then what the hell drinks that's too.
俺はあんたを引きずってでも連れて行くからな。
Another loud drink.
今さら逃げ出すなんて許すもんかよ。
No, nigga.
あんたの命はもう
Exactly.
あんた一人のものじゃねえんだ。
Another loud drink.
No!
Hijikata had lost all composure, screaming like he was about to grab Kondo by the collar, desperate tears glistening at the corners of his eyes. Oh, that's two. Yeah, hold on, that's 2 drinks because someone else is crying. Yeah. But Kondo suddenly raised his voice with enough force to overpower even Hijikata's fury.
ならばこれは命令だ。島田君と雪村君を連れ
He
て
allowed to.
市川の隊と合流せよ。
Hijikata stumbled back a step, shocked.
俺に命令するのか。
What the hell, drink?
あんたが何に合わねえ真似してんだよ。
His tears hadn't fallen, but his voice trembled as if he were sobbing.
局長の命令は絶対なんだろう。大使たちに切腹や羅刹化を命じておいて、
Seppuku drink.
自分たちだけは特別扱いか。それが俺たちの望んだ武士の姿か。
Hijikata said nothing. As long as he had been commander, Hijikata strove to lead by example. He lived by the code and demanded others do likewise to groom the Shinsengumi into true warriors. No doubt Kondo had counted on that fact. He meant to use it to keep Hijikata alive.
島田君、雪村君、トシと一緒に早く逃げてくれ。もたもたしていると連中が押し入ってくるぞ。そうなると俺が投降する意味がなくなってしまう。
He gave Shimada and I a little shove to get us moving, and Shimada turned to look at Hijikata. For a moment, he said nothing. He seemed uncertain whether or not he should obey, but finally...
副長、行きましょう。
Hijikata didn't move. He only stood, chewing at his lip, until Kondo laid his hands on his friend's shoulders and gave him a warm smile, the same one he'd always had.
なあ、トシ。そろそろ楽にさせてくれないか。
No, 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 no. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia,
俺を
let me
担ぎ
go.
上げるために昼も夜もなく働いてあちこち走り回ってしまいには羅刹にまでなってしま
What
う。
would Okita do here? He'd be like, fuck no, and make... I feel like he would challenge, Kondo to a fight. So he could be like, yeah, I'm not letting you get away with this. And even then, I think he just like try to fight anyways. Maybe even try to knock him out. I feel like, but I don't know, because I think Okita would really be blinded by, you know, desperation. So I think the first thing he would do would be to challenge him or something.
そんな姿を見てる方が俺は辛いんだ。俺はお前にそこまでしてもらうほどの男じゃないからな。
Hijikata didn't look up. He blinked rapidly, trying to hold back tears. Then he swallowed, and when he spoke, his voice was strained. Kondo, what's your plan for food and shelter? Oh man. Nah, if anything, he'd be DTS, danger to self.
俺のしたことは何だったんだ。侍になってお上に仕えて戦に勝ち続けてそれあんたは一緒に喜んでくれるんだとばかり。
Hijikata sounded just like Kondo had following the defeat in Kofu.
すまないな。
Bro.
お前にそこまでさせたのは
Shimada's just like standing here this whole time watching this. Well, same with Yukimura, but I mean that's just her. Oh, it's kind of weird seeing Shimada just kind of like his portrait standing here, observing.
思えば 儚い夢だったな。侍でも何でもない俺たちが腰に刀を刺してご公儀のために働いてたなんて。
His voice was warm, but it seemed that very kindness made it even harder for Hijikata. Just noticed his nose. Who is Shimada's? Excuse me. Yeah, I know. Like it's kind of like it's like a long but pointed down kind of nose. I don't know. It's a big nose, that's for sure. He held his breath and squeezed his eyes shut, willing the tears to go away. Then finally steeled himself.
島田、残った大使たちに伝令だ。逃走経路も確保しとかねえとな。
Big old schnoz, right?
はい。
雪村、お前はここで待ってろ。支度が済んだらすぐ呼びに来る。
Alright. With that, Hijikata and Shimada left, and Kondo and I were alone. He reached into his kimono and pulled something out.
雪村君、
What is it?
これを持って行きなさい。
He handed me a small cloth bag. It clinked as he laid it in my hand. What is it?
逃亡資金だ。君には
Oh,
何もしてやれなかったからな。
Kondo.
せめてもの気持ちだ。
Take it and get out. Yeah, exactly. How could he be so kind when the situation was so grim? His warmth still lingered on the bag as I took it. I felt a lump rise in my throat.
今ならまだ間に合うはずだ。都市には行っておくから、ここを出たら松本先生を頼ってどこかに逃げなさい。いくら薩長でも君のような女子にまでひどい真似はしないだろう。我々と関わったことは忘れて、
Very a man I love, you say.
静かに暮らしなさい。それが女にとっての幸せだと思うよ。
What should I say? What do I say? Oh shit, I don't know. What do I say? Speech check, right? I mean, I think Hijikata would want us to convince Kondo to escape. It's obviously he's not surviving this canon event. We can't stop the canon event, but I don't know. I think we have to say convince Kondo to escape. Kondo, please, won't you reconsider? Okay, yeah, fuck. Okay. Oh, of course that was wrong. We have to go with Hijikata because it's his fucking route. I don't know. Ugh, well, that's a reload drink. I appreciated Kondo's kind gesture, but I implore you to reconsider. Yeah, like that. That's like the one line, or not the only line, but I feel like that's like, you know, the line that I always remember from Kung Pao Under the Fist. It's either that or that's a lot of nuts. But like, or okay, no, I think the better way to rephrase it is the first thing I think of, or like the first quote I think of from anything from Kung Pao Enter the Fist is I implore you to reconsider. Like, I don't know why that specific line just stands out to me, but from now on you will all refer to me by the name Betty. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it's okay. I don't need to hear all of them. I'm just I get it. I shook my head. No, I won't run. I want to go with Hijikata. I'm his page. Yeah, Yukimura, you're his page, right? I bit my lip, afraid that if I said any more I might burst into tears. Instead, I looked up at Kodo. What? How dare you call him Kodo? I did my best to swallow. No, 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 that's a spelling error drink. So much lip biting, right? His eyes were warm as he looked down at me. No, the translator, how dare they? This is his last fucking scene and this is how they treat him?
そうか。トシはいい部下に恵まれたな。トシのことをこれからもよろしく頼むよ。
I tried to respond, but the lump in my throat made any sort of speech impossible. Eventually, Hijikata and Shimada returned. He gathered all of the remaining warriors, including Soma and Nomura.
局長を置いて我々だけ逃げるって本当ですか副長？
局長命令だ。お前らは俺と一緒にここから脱出してもらう。
ですが、このまま投降したらすぐ正体を見破られるに決まってます。
Alright, can't put in a loud drink. So I'm gonna switch to water, because I'm not gonna... I'll make this a 2-hour runtime stream. No, I won't be here too long. I just finished my Cayman Jacked.
せめて俺だけでも局長のおそばに。
局長命令だ。
That's an order.
ねえのか。
Ooh, and a loud drink. Damn.
さんの気遣いを無駄にするつもりか。
So 2 there. Bro. Soma looked like he wanted to respond, but instead, he looked down as he tightened his fists, shaking. Just then... Nomura! No!
副長の命令ですけど、新選組大使として局長を見捨てるわけにはいきません。
Excuse me.
野村君。
てめえ、この場で俺にぶった切られてえのか。
いや、その待ってください。
Nomura didn't even blink. His eyes burned with intense vigor as he glared back at Hijikata.
本当なら副長がここに残りたいはずですよね。でも局長から新選組を託された身だからそれができないわけで。だから俺が副長の代わりに局長をお守りします。
Hijikata stared down at Nomura for a long, silent moment. Eventually, he drew— oh shit! He drew the Izu Minokami Kanesada from the scabbard on his left hip.
副長。
As the exclamation left Shimada's mouth, Hijikata pointed the tip of his sword towards Nomura's throat.
近藤さんを守るっつった。
Sweat trickled down Nomura's flushed cheeks. He met Hijikata's stare, fixing his gaze steadily before he nodded curtly.
はい。
だったら絶対にやり遂げてみせろ。
Damn.
何があっても
Well,
近藤さんのそばから
no more Nomura either.
いいな。
You know, I don't even remember Nomura in the anime. I don't know if this is what happened. Because I know they follow Hijikata's route, but damn. Nomura's eyes grew wide, trembling ever so slightly. The heck, they're not going wide in his portrait. But soon after, they brimmed with a fiery determination.
はい。野村利三郎、絶対に局長の恩義をお守りします。
That's a loud drink. It seemed Nomura convinced Hijikata, as the latter returned his blade to its sheath. Surprised he did. Damn. Hijikata's words were curt, as he nodded briskly before leaving the residence behind. Before long, Kondo and Nomura would surrender to the Imperial Army. I looked back over my shoulder many times as we ran. Perhaps I thought to myself time and again, if we turned back now, we could still rescue him. Was there no way for all of us to make it out alive? Shimada seemed to feel the same way. Hijikata, however, never once turned back. We ran and ran through the forest to Ichikawa. It didn't matter how quickly we got there. It wouldn't be soon enough to bring back an army to save Kondo. We all knew that, but Hijikata didn't slow down.
雪村君、大丈夫ですか？
Oh,
なんなら
nice.
俺がおぶっていきましょうか。
I'm fine. I can keep going. Hijikata, with his back to us, did not say a single word. Yet I could feel how pained he was with each step he took from Kondo. The sun had begun to dip toward the western horizon, and night had started to fall when...
おい、そこの者たち止まれ。どこへ向かうつもりだ？
They dressed in a simple western uniform. Hijikata only frowned and made to walk past the soldiers.
止まれと言っているだろう。貴様、まさか爆兵か？いや、こいつの顔、どこかで見た覚えがあるぞ。そうだ、新選組の土方だ。なんだと、坂本殿を暗殺した新選組の副長か。
As they scrambled for their guns, I noticed the mark of the Tosa domain on their uniforms. Ah! That's why they're all like, ah, Sakamoto! Unfortunately, they weren't fast enough for Hijikata. His hair snapped white, and he shot toward the soldiers, Kanesada in hand. God damn it, Hijikata, we told you to stop! Anyways, white drink. His strike was so fast and elegant that the eye barely even had time to realize it had happened before two men fell dead to the ground.
運が悪かったな。ちょうど虫の居所が悪いんだ。
A volley of gunfire erupted from the rest of the nearby Imperial soldiers. I heard the wet thunk of bullets hitting Hijikata. He stumbled, but almost immediately his wounds began to close.
これが銃の痛みか。思ったよりどうってことねえな。そうだ。なんてことねえよ。あの人がこれから受ける痛みに比べたら全然ねえ。
Holy fuck, Hijikata, damn! Damn, bro. That's a loud drink. He put his heart and soul into that scream. Hijikata launched himself at the nearest of the riflemen, his sword already in motion and his face twisted by grief and anger. Even without the Fury powers, Hijikata and Shimada could have made short work of the small troop of men. But rage and frustration boiled inside him, erupting in a torrent of violence. No! Stop! You can't use your powers! I tried to plead with him to stop. Bruh, loud drink again. He knew what he was doing, but he was past caring. Hijikata leapt in between the trees, his sword flashing like lightning. Rage, anguish, and an unrestrained thirst for blood radiated out from him like heat from a fire. I could feel it, even from where I stood. Yeah, it's not a bloodlust episode though. He's just very angry. Blood soaked his face, chest, and hands. Still, he cut and cut, never satisfied. Excuse me. I saw Shimada and Soma sweating as they stood silently, watching Hijikata fight as a fury. Hijikata looked as if he'd forgotten how to do anything but kill. The sight was gruesome, yet terribly tragic. At the end of it all, silence fell over the forest once more. At last, the only person still alive was Hijikata himself. He stood still, sword slick with blood. He didn't even turn to face us.
島田、相馬、他に敵がいねえか、見てきてくれ。
はい。
すぐに行ってきます。
They gave their answer, anxious, and disappeared into the forest.
お前も一緒に行け。
Normally I would have immediately done as he asked, and headed off into the forest after them. But this time, I just couldn't bring myself to obey.
何をしてやがる。
So what the hell drink? And that's an order drink, so 2. His tone was aggressive, and his words cut like a knife, but I did not move. My apologies, but I can't do that.
副長命令だぞ。
That's an order drink. Dang, maybe I should have grabbed another drink. Nah, it's alright. He sounded angry as he often did, but behind that anger was a deep, miserable sadness. If he didn't stay angry, I felt he would probably cry. I promise I won't get in your way, but please, just let me stay here with you. I knew there was nothing I could do for him, but neither could I bear to leave him alone. Oh, the misery. Every single person is my enemy. And so I refused to leave. He turned his back to me, to everything. He's totally crying. I had no idea what kind of expression he wore on his face. It might zoom out, it might not, but I'll take a CG drink now. But suddenly, his tall back and broad shoulders seemed small, tired, very, very lonely. What could I say to him? How could I make him feel better? I searched for something, anything, but I came up empty. After a long silence, he finally spoke under his breath. Oh yeah, there we go. What the hell, drink? And we'll take a look at that. Zoom out. Kondo had expressed the exact same sentiment back at Kofu. What am I fighting for?
そのために今まで必死に走ってきたのか。あの人を押し上げて、もっともっと高いところまで担ぎ上げてやりたかった。関西帝君や清正公どころじゃねえ。もっともっとすげえ戦をさせて、本物の武将にしてやりたかった。
Man.
片田舎の貧乏道場の主と百姓の息子で、どこまでいけるのか試してみたかった。
His voice was shaking. I wasn't even sure he still knew I was there. If he did, it seemed he no longer cared.
俺たちは同じ夢を見てたはずだ。あの人のためならどんなことだってできるって思ってた。なのに、どうして俺はここにいるんだ。近藤さんを置き去りにして、どうしててめえだけ助かってるんだよ。
Damn, bro. Damn. That's... Wow.
結局俺はあの人を見捨ててきたんじゃねえか。
That's another loud drink, but damn. The emotion, the raw emotion, bro.
徳川の殿様と同じで。
Sheesh, right?
見捨てちゃいけねえ相手を捨てて。てめえだけ生き残ってるんじゃねえかよ。
Emotional damage. Holy fuck. Loud drink again. It tore me apart to hear him talk like that. I couldn't bear to just stand and listen. I wrapped my arms around him and pressed my face against his back. Oh god damn it! I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, imagine if they just inserted Yukimura right there, and then they fucking did. Oh my god. What if they do it again? I think this is just gonna be a common thing for Hijikatsu's route. Well, that's a CG drink. He stiffened but didn't move. Kondo said, after you left, I told him that you'd figure something out somehow. And he said that I was asking too much of you. I couldn't let myself cry. Hijikata's pain was far worse than I could ever imagine. But thinking this, the tears just came, and then that's a Yukimura crying dream. I struggled ahead, forcing my words out as the tears streamed down my cheeks. I know how much you care about Kondo, but he did what he did because he feels the same about you. It had nothing to do with who's in the right or who's in the wrong. Kondo didn't want you to die. He wanted you to live on. He ordered you to leave. You didn't have a choice. Just, please, don't blame yourself. Hijikata listened, saying nothing. Or perhaps he didn't even hear me. Well, the tears start coming and they don't stop coming. Right? Man, this is non-stop sad, this chapter. Why did words feel so powerless when I needed them most? What good were they if I couldn't comfort someone I cared for when they were at their lowest? After several long minutes, I felt Hijikata relax. What the hell, Drake?
どうやって生きろってんだよ。あの人を高いところまで押し上げるって夢があったから、俺は今まで生きてこられたんだ。それがなくなっちまったよ。俺なんてもう抜け殻みてえなもんじゃねえか。
A short, tear-ridden, and self-deprecating laugh escaped his lips. Oh, wait, I don't think it mentioned he was crying or anything earlier, so we'll take the 2 drinks now. Oh my god, get out of here. No! They just had to use the word!
Seriously?!
I have to seriously drink. Fuck, dude. I didn't think there'd be so many drinks at this point. He choked back a sob and fell silent. Alright, you know what? That's a good place to end. Damn. I can't take any more emotional damage! And also, it's very, very close to 2-hour runtime, so I'll stop there. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. As always, I enjoy chatting with you guys and hanging out. If you're just watching, I'm always glad to be entertainment. Excuse me. So here's the thing. We will do Hakuoki once again later today. And you know what? I think we'll finish. I'll have a little more time. So we'll gun it. We'll gun for it. I think we got this. Because I remember when we played, on Steam, when we played Edo Blossoms for Okita's route, there are literally only 2 streams for that, so I think we got this. But yeah, Mata Nene, my dudes. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night or day wherever you may be. And if you're just watching, always glad to be entertainment. Even if just like, you know, just chilling out, hanging out. GG's. But yeah, look forward to Hakuoki later today. Should be the last. We'll miss Hakuoki. I'll miss Hakuoki, at least. But, yeah. Alright. You guys stay safe. Take care. And peace out.